Welcome everyone to MetroConnect 2020. This is our third year bringing you this program from the Metro Nashville Department of General Services and Metro Human Resources. This year we are virtual. So while we love our tours in person on the ground, this year, for obvious reasons with COVID, we are doing it virtual, and we're very, very pleased to be able to bring you this program again. So thank you all so much for joining us. I'm Jennifer Westerholm. I'm with our Sustainability Division in our Department of General Services here in Metro. And my colleagues Michelle Hammond and Laurel Creech are also here today. So they'll be taking part as well. And our tour guide, Captain Robert Neese, a 25-year veteran of our fire department, is also with us as well.
Morning.
So just some info on what to expect today. You can look in the chat, and I've placed some information there. We're going to meet for an hour, so we'll get you out of here at 11. Please participate with us. Use that chat function as much as you'd like. And during our Q&A session later, please go ahead and you'll be able to unmute yourself and ask a question so we can interact that way. When you're not speaking, do go ahead and mute yourself. So you should be able to see at the bottom of your screen or maybe on your picture a little microphone button. So go ahead and mute yourself now so that we can cut down on background noise. And if you have a camera and the ability to show us your smiling face, please do. That helps us feel like we're a little bit more connected here. And finally, you can see that if you have any technical questions or issues, you can just send those to Michelle, and you have her number there, but hopefully we won't have too many technical questions. But we're very excited to bring you this MetroConnect program. There's 6 tours this year. This is our second of 6. And so we hope you'll sign up for more and participate. But this is really a program that we envision is a way for us as Metro employees to connect with one another, to build relationships across departments, and to really learn a lot more about just what's going on citywide, what are the innovative and sustainable and exciting programs, projects, and facilities that our Metro government is participating in. So with that, I am going to get our PowerPoint going and do kind of a little intro. Okay. Here we go. All right. So as I've said, this is our MetroConnect program. Here we go. And this is a picture from a couple years ago when we were in person. So we hope to be back soon. But again, brought to you by General Services and HR, and happy to bring you guys here today. So yeah, show us your video, mute when not speaking. As I've said, go ahead and participate. And with technical questions, you can reach out to this number. And do note also, this event is being recorded so that our colleagues and others who couldn't join us today may be able to view the presentation at a later date. So today we are going to be virtually touring Fire Station 37. This is, okay. Can you guys still see everything okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so this is our newest fire station. It is in Bellevue over in West Nashville, and it is a 19,000 square feet. It is a beautiful new facility. It's tracking LEED Gold. LEED is an international green building standard. It stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, and it's the kind of the standard for a sustainable green facility. So it's actually not just tracking, but it's already achieved LEED Gold status. I'm sorry, I didn't update that, under LEED version 4, which is the tough new standards for green buildings internationally. It is the first fire station that has been certified under this new standard. And some of the really exciting stats about this facility's sustainability is that its water use reduction is expected to be 43% less than a standard comparable facility. Energy cost savings at about 29.5% lower than a similar facility. It has a 50 kilowatt solar panel system. Its HVAC, heating and cooling system, features a heat recovery wheel. And this building, as with many Metro buildings, is monitored for energy efficiency by our building automation systems. That means our energy manager can remote into the building and look at lighting and heating and cooling and schedules and actually change those things in real time to save energy and make the facility more comfortable for the occupants. So as you can see here, a lot of different groups and resources come together to create a beautiful new building like Fire Station 37. And I won't go through all of these, but you can see these are some of the entities, both public and private, that have come together to design, build, and create this wonderful fire station. And our department, the Metro Department of General Services, is the owner and manager of the building. So we've met him a little bit already, but this is Captain Robert Neese. He is a native Nashvilleian and I believe went to middle school right across the street from where he currently works. He is going to admit someone to the waiting room. Excuse me. He has been with the Nashville Fire Department for 25 years and firefighting runs in his blood. His father was a firefighter for 37 years. And I think it's an interesting coincidence, perhaps, that he now works at Fire Station 37. So something that's very important to him. And when I first met you, Captain Neese, I remember asking you kind of just what drew you to firefighting. And you said that it's something that for you is not a job, it's a lifestyle, and it doesn't feel like work. It's something that's kind of part of you. So Captain Neese has a wealth of experience in his 25 years. He's worked in rescue, on the engine, on the truck. He's worked downtown. I mean, pretty much anything and everything, he's done it. So we're in really good hands today with him as our tour guide. A chance to meet and greet virtually, and welcome back. We are going to move on to the main event. So we're going on our virtual tour of Fire Station 37 with our esteemed tour guide, Captain Robert Neese. I've put in the chat a couple things. I'm going to show you this video, just like you just keep on doing the same thing here in Zoom. But if you have any technical difficulties viewing the video, if it looks choppy or you have any problems, there is the YouTube link to this portion of our presentation. And then the other fun thing is that as we're watching this 20-minute presentation, please do use the chat everybody. And if you have reactions, questions, thoughts about the video as you're watching, please put them there. And Captain Neese, our tour guide, will actually be responding to some of the questions in real time as we go along. So feel free to use that chat function. With that, just note that there's a little bit of quiet at the beginning of this video. So don't worry about that, but we'll get started. I'm gonna share my screen with you in one moment and we'll get going on our tour. And here we go.
We'll start off, we'll go in our the front door, which leads us to basically our living quarters. We're leading into our kitchen and living room area. And we have computers over here for writing runs up and doing our reports. And of course we have some downtime. We can use these chairs as lazy boys. Let me cut that off for us. So it's a pretty relaxing area. We have time, if we do have time, to watch TV or maybe watch a video or even some training we can do in this room. Over here is our computer area. Like I said, we write runs up, do our reports, take care of all of our business and emails and all that, like a functioning office. And we have our recycle bins. As you can see, we have our regular trash and recycle. And we have for metal, plastic, paper, cardboard. But let me take you to our kitchen. We have a state-of-the-art kitchen, stainless steel, of course. And this is where, of course, the firemen have to have good meals. So we have a good setup for our meals. And along with that, we have some safety issues in here. We have a gas appliances, our gas stove. When we catch a call, our gas shuts off. So in case we forget or someone's cooking and forgets to turn off the stove, it cuts off by itself. So that's a good feature because you never know when you might leave or what might happen. Oh yeah, and we have 3 refrigerators here. So we kind of keep them locked, I guess, to keep each person have their own food. They can buy whatever they need for the week if they need to, and we can lock it up per shift. So they're not getting our food, we're not getting their food. And we also have pantries where we keep our food. Same deal over here. We have lockers for all 3 shifts. And we have another locker that's for stuff that we share, like the condiments and things like that we're all paid for together. All right. And this is where we live. This long hallway has our bedrooms on this side and bathrooms on this side and our fitness center. So let's take a look at some of these. We'll start at the little fitness center right here. We have a state-of-the-art fitness center with pretty much everything you would have at a fitness club. Treadmill, bicycle, elliptical, of course the free weights and the machine weights. And firefighters need to be in good shape, so they really did a good job giving us something or encourage us to work out and a good facility to do that in. Okay. All right, and let's go to we'll go to one of the captain's rooms. And as you can see, there's a call going through, and this red light comes on at night and lights up the room for you. And we have automatic sensor lights and all LED lights to save money, so the lights don't constantly stay on, and the LED uses less energy. And I'll give that a second to be done. So at night, it's great because the lights do not come on at night, but the red light will come on for whatever call you may have, so you can get up, get dressed without the bright lights in your face. And this is the captain's room. There's 2 captain's rooms in this firehouse, one for the truck, one for the engine. And this is our training room, like our virtual training room, which we have a TV connected to the internet, and we're going to start classes in this room. Instead of going to the academy and going in a large group, we'll come here in smaller groups, maybe by fire station or a couple of fire stations where we can social distance. We have the instructor will be at the academy or their location, and they'll be able to see us, we'll see them, and we can actually carry on a class with an instructor live. So it also saves us having to drive from here to the academy. So saves gas, saves time, and keeps us safe at the same time. Of course, we're coming on to these are just restrooms, and each restroom is private. And you have your own, not your own room, but when you do, you come in here, you have a shower and bathroom, and you can lock the door. So it's great for females and males, so you can come in and not have to worry if it's like a female locker room or male locker room. You can just go in and lock the door behind you. And this room is our TV room that's separate from the main room where the kitchen table and all that is, this is a little more quiet. You're not in front of everyone. You're not, someone could be cooking or whatever, and you could come in here and be quiet, watch a movie or whatever you desire, and have a little more peace. Oh yeah, they set this up with for the paint. It's got low VOC. They try to protect the air, so it's left off gassing. Our floor is like a rubberized floor, and with our ceiling, acoustic ceiling, it minimizes the vibration and sound, so the sound doesn't echo quite as bad as most halls built like this. Well, the way that these rooms are set up, if you look above the door, we have a magnetic color code. And the orange rooms are our extra rooms right now, and they're still being designed of who's going to be in those rooms. But like over here, it would be the blue, which is EMS. And when the ambulance gets a call, it goes out in this room. Their red light comes on. They can hear the tone. They can hear the address. But it doesn't go off for everyone else. It goes off all the hallways. Every run comes out in a hallway because anyone could be in the bathroom or the hallway. But if you're at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, and most everyone would be in bed, like the blue would be EMS. This green one is a truck. So a person in here is on the truck, and only truck runs come out in this room. And so on the other side is the other truck rooms and the engine. So if the engine has a call and their lone ones go out, it's the only ones that actually hear it other than the common areas. So if you come this way, we have, they really gave us a nice little water station. We got filtered water for bottled waters, and they're great for like working out. You can fill your water so you don't waste water bottles. I mean, it tells you how many water bottles. So far, we've saved 408 plastic bottles from having to be disposed of in just a short amount of time we've been here. And this area, of course, this is where our batteries are for our radios, but this is our, what we call tear and run. So in the middle of the night, we catch a call. This will print out where we're going, and we can grab that, take it with us, and saves us having to ask on the radio again where we're going. Because at 2 o'clock in the morning, when you get up, it's a lot of numbers are going through, and it's hard to remember exactly where you're going. But when we do catch a call, this is where we go. This is our apparatus bay. And the engine right now would be parked here. They're out on a call. The truck's here. Basically, as far as the bay, they've designed the bay with some air purifiers. Whenever the doors open, our air purifiers come on and they basically clean the air for us, the air vac system for the diesel fuel and all the particulates coming from the motors as we come and go throughout the day. And yes, we're the first ones in Nashville that have these. So hopefully that's something that they'll continue. But we're the first firehouse that has these, and there's, as you can see, there's a number of them throughout the bay. And if we open the door or drive in or out the door, with the doors open, they cut on for 20 minutes, purify the air for us. So whatever particulates are here gets cleaned, and they go off very many times a day. And let's go ahead and show you. Let's go to the decon room. The decon room is just what it is, where we get clean. If we make a fire call, we're going to be dirty. A medic call, you could be dirty. And you don't want to bring any of the contaminants from outside into our bedrooms and our living room and our quarters. So we have a sink to wash our hands, a full shower if needed. So there's a time you could get something on you. You want to wash up before you go inside, clean your shoes, whatever you need to do. It's here for us before we go indoors to our living quarters. So all that is to keep us as healthy as possible and to keep clean. We want to keep our air clean, our body clean, and not contaminate our normal area that we live. So this is where we keep our gear. This is the bunker room. And this is where we keep all our gear, which is right off of the bay. So when we do have something on our coat, or we get in some smoke or anything like that, or even wet, we bring them in here. We have a dehumidifier, and this keeps filters the air in this room, so it keeps the contaminants that could be on our coat outside of our living area and in one place, so we're not contaminating where we eat and sleep. And of course, here's our truck. And a fire engine, someone's asked me before, what's the difference in a fire engine and a truck? And our truck is a ladder truck. We have a over 100-foot ladder on our truck, and a fire engine has ladders, but their ladders portable. But the engines supply the water and the hose, and the truck supply the ladder. We also have extrication equipment like the Jaws of Life. It's basically one large toolbox, and we have tools for all different things, from breaking into doors, breaching doors in case we have to get in, there's a fire and we have to get through the door. So a lot of different activities for us and equipment on a truck. Yeah, we'll just open a few of these doors and see that this is, so we have generators, lights. I mean, when there's a fire, we have lights on the side of the truck, like over here to light the scene up. And we have portable lights. The two red up there are portable lights. A generator in case we need electricity. I mean, we're not always close to any power. So we have our own electricity for power tools and for lights. You can see the tools up here, of course, axes and sledgehammers and hook poles for, this is what we use for pulling ceilings. You might need an axe to get in a door. This would be pull ceilings. So all these tools have a purpose. And like I said, this is a big toolbox. So we may need to cut a hole in the roof. We got our chainsaws. Those, of course, we have ladder belts. So when we go on the ladder, we can be connected to the ladder, so we can be safe once we're up there. And the other side has the Jaws of Life. And, of course, here's our array of ladders here. This says you like 35, 28, 16, 14-foot ladder, 20-foot. So have a couple of 28s, a couple of 35s. So we're well equipped in the ladder department. Let me go ahead and open these up. Yeah, in a fire, we use a fan to help get the smoke out for the like the engine guys that are in the fire. We may cut a hole in the roof. There may be some guys cutting holes in the roof, and we put the fan in to move the smoke through the roof to clear it out so they can stay inside. And of course, we're all making medic calls, and we have an AED. We have some oxygen in here and all of our bandages and all the things we need for medic calls, which now is close to 85% of the runs in the city. It may be more, are medical calls. More than it used to be. Years ago, there'd be more fires because, right now they're better built buildings, so the fire is not as easily started. Back in the day, it'd be more fires than medic calls. But with the times and the population, especially with COVID, we have plenty of medic calls on all the stations in the city. And here's what we call the Jaws of Life. We have the spreaders where we can pop doors, spread doors open. We have a set of cutters. They're all super heavy, but we can cut the doors open and spread metal. And this is our power pack that supplies the power. And like I said, if you look, you can see we got hoses. This is pump like a fire engine. It has the capabilities of us actually acting as a fire engine. So, and it's definitely a rolling toolbox with all the stuff and all the different equipment. We have ropes up here. We have life jackets. Life jackets in here because the 2010 flood. That can happen anytime, anywhere. We have ropes in case we need to, do any kind of rope work off of a car wreck. Could be down embankment and we need to get the patient back up. So we have a lot of capabilities and a lot of equipment. We're going to go outside and look at these beautiful red doors that we're really proud of. And like I said, whenever the doors open, our filtration system comes up. And they also, as you can see, the arrows and the X lets us know that the doors are completely open or closed, because a lot of times we're backing in. And you may think the door's all the way open or whatever. That's just kind of another safety feature to know that that the doors are completely open to save some accidents. And we can look at our plants over here since we're outside. We have 2 retention ponds, one on each side, one on the front and one on the side. And the smaller of the 2 is right here. And they're covered with drought-resistant plants. And it's so we can contain our water and less runoff from the site. And they look pretty good at the same time. We need to go over here to the side. We got more to show you. Let's go down the sidewalk. So here's a good view of the firehouse. If you want to take a moment to see our footprint, how large it is, how nice a job they did with our firehouse. And of course, we have a little playground next door that's not quite part of the firehouse, but our neighborhood kids really love to see us coming by. And when we get over here, you'll be able to see our solar panels. And I believe we have the most solar panels of any firehouse built to date. And let's see, we have 144 panels. And they generate about 16% directly to the firehouse. About 16% of our electricity is coming from these solar panels they have installed. So about 16% of what we normally would pay on our electric bill is being saved by these panels. Yes, and they're probably doing more than 16% on a day like today because we have some direct sunlight. And right below that, we have a dual electric charge station for anyone that works here or the public that has an electric car. They can pull up free of charge, charge their vehicle, and I'm sure they have to sign up, get the card, get activated, and you plug it in. And I can see some parents coming over, charging their car, taking their kids to the playground, and come back and have their car charged. So it's a benefit for us and the public. All right, so that is the gist of the firehouse. Pretty much anything that we do, we live here. We're here for 24 hours. So we have a nice facility. We have an area like out front where we have rocking chairs, and we can walk that way as we conclude. But we're in a good location where at the end of the day we can sit in our rocking chairs and we have a good view of the sunset. And it's hard to beat at the end of a busy day to relax under the covered porch in your rocking chair and watch the sun go down. So they did a pretty good job of making it as user-friendly as they could. All right. Appreciate y'all coming on the tour.
All right, a huge thank you to Captain Neese for hosting our tour for MetroConnect. I hope that you all were able to enjoy that. And we have a lot of great questions happening in the chat. If you all have been able to follow that, you can toggle back up and see all these great questions that have been coming in. But now's the time to actually do Q&A directly to Captain Neese. So we're going to take about just a few minutes to do that. So when you do ask a question, we do encourage you to please, you can unmute yourself and then introduce yourself and the department you're with, and then ask Captain Neese your question, and then he'll respond, and we'll just see how many questions we have. So does anybody have any questions for Captain Neese? Don't be shy.
There was some questions on there that I wasn't able to get to. There was a question about the new stations. Are they all going to be lead fire stations? And that was a question that you guys may could answer better than I could.
Sure, yes. So Metro government does have a requirement for all new facilities over 5,000 square feet to be LEED certified. It has to be LEED certified gold at a minimum under V4. So we indeed are following that protocol. So all new future fire stations, including the new one that we're building for Fire Station 32, needs to be at a minimum gold. Does anybody have any questions? Or Captain Neese, if there's others that you see that you didn't get a chance to answer?
I think that was the main one. And someone asked about how many people ride on the equipment. We have a minimum of 3 on the fire truck and the fire engine and the rescue. It's nicer or better for us to have 4 on certain situations, but the city is 3 is the minimum, up to 5. There's 5 assigned to the fire engine, but like today there's 4 riding on the fire engine, but 90% of the time there would be only 3 on a fire engine or a fire truck. So that makes it harder for us on a big fire to have minus 1 or 2 people, but minimum 3, max 5. That was one of the questions that they had.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just curious. So when you call for like you have a medical emergency or whatever at home, does the fire department show up first and then paramedics or EMTs, or how does that work? Because I had someone appeared to have like a heart attack who came to do some service at my home, and the fire department showed up first from Bellevue, followed by an ambulance. So I was just curious, is that typically how it works, or do you determine if an ambulance is necessary?
On any call like that, they're going to send an ambulance, but what we'll do, like if you're in Bellevue, and it happens here all the time, there's 1 ambulance in Bellevue. And if they make a call and someone fell down, whatever, and they take them to the hospital, they're driving from here, let's say St. Thomas Hospital. So there's not an ambulance in Bellevue. So they'll send the fire engine or the truck, and we're all EMTs in Bellevue, but luckily for Bellevue, the engine is also covered with paramedics. Oh. So they can start IVs and they can, give drugs and all that. So we're there because the next available ambulance could be coming from Green Hills, or, whichever one is the closest at the time will be next, but it's not going to be directly in Bellevue. So, we can do CPR for 20 minutes if the next ambulance is far away.
That makes sense now, because I was curious how that worked, and I was just surprised to get a fire truck first. But
they look at us funny when we show up with a 100-foot ladder truck on a person fell, and the ambulance is 5 to 10 minutes behind us, but there's a lot we can do till they get there. We just can't transport.
Okay.
And Captain Neese, it looks like we had another question come in. I don't think their microphone's working well. When do the trainees break out to individual fire stations for training?
Well, we have one here today. I don't know exactly how long they've been out, but they're in class for like 16 weeks through the academy. And then when they go to the academy, they're assigned a zone, like a certain chief will give, like we have a guy today that's new. So he's riding with us and we're just kind of showing him the ropes. And for 6 months to a year, they do that. And then they're assigned a firehouse and they become like us. You know, they're not a rookie anymore. They've been through their probational period. So 6 months to a year, they're kind of bouncing around different firehouses learning. But you never stop learning. It's always something to do, something to learn.
I have a question.
Yes.
My name's Chad. I'm from Metro Police Department.
Yes.
And I was kind of curious, in your video, you didn't go over the inside of the vehicle, what type of equipment you all use to receive your calls other than the paper slip.
Right.
I'm just kind of curious, have y'all upgraded or going to be upgraded to the GTAC system like we are in the police cars? Or
Fire engines, and I don't know name brands. We have Motorola radios like the police, I guess the portables and all that. But we have laptops in the engine that gives us the run information. And I can push a button that says I'm in service. Another button says we're on the way, and when we get there and all that, we push buttons so we don't have to talk on the radio. Clears the radio up some, and we get a detailed information on the way to the call. I can scroll up with my laptop and say, all right, we're going to a fire call and this happened or whatever, and I can get a little information that dispatch has that they don't give us over the air.
okay.
So not all have them, but they're trying to get to that.
Looks like we got another one that just came into the chat. Working 24-hour shifts, what does a typical weekly schedule look like for a firefighter or paramedic?
Well, our shift, like this week, today is Thursday, so I worked Monday for 24 hours, off Tuesday, Wednesday, and worked Thursday today for 24, so I'll be off. It's hard to keep up with days because we never work the same day twice, really. And then so basically I work a day, off 2 days, and you do whatever with your days off like anyone else. We're scheduled 10 days a month on the calendar, and we still get holidays off, and vacation days, like anyone else, but we don't get like the actual holiday off. Like we're going to be here Christmas Day, but in January, I might be able to get the holiday that you guys would get on Christmas, like where you stay home and you get a holiday and like a paid holiday. Ours is, we have to take other days, I guess, because we're there working no matter what the holiday would be. So on a typical week, it could be a Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday week. That may be my whole week. And it sounds, like, oh, wow, you only work 3 days, but 72 hours in that week. And sometimes there's not a lot of sleep. So you just never know.
Does anyone have some other questions for Captain Neese?
I have one. I work with the sheriff's office, actually their IT department there. But my question is on the dispatching side, do you have separate police and fire dispatching?
Now they've turned it into where there's the police and fire, like there's someone that could be sitting at dispatch that does police and fire. There we have several different channels that are just fire, so we don't hear their calls. But I think a dispatcher could be doing a fire call 1 minute and a police call next, if I'm not mistaken. But we can't hear what the police are doing. But we do contact the police through our dispatch, because there's several calls that we'll go to that could be a shooting or something, somebody's there that's dangerous, but someone's hurt. So we need to go, but we have to wait for PD to clear the scene. So dispatch has to tell us PD's there. You guys can come in, they have it safe. But we can't hear actually PD's transmissions.
Thank you.
Captain Neese, we got another question appropriate for Metro Water Services from Lynn. Do you get building material use and hydrant location information on your laptop during an active fire call?
We'll get a call. It's limited to, it's not set up on our computers to tell us hydrant locations and really what the building's used for. I mean, we can get from dispatch that it's a commercial building, and time of day we can kind of say, okay, well, if it's a business and it's 11 o'clock at night and they're closed, more likely there's no one there. But if it's a nursing home or an apartment, you're going to have a lot of people there. But like for the hydrants and all that, we're still kind of old school. We have our territory and we get out and find out where the nearest hydrant is for an apartment. And we know that there's hydrants inside the apartment complex. So we kind of do that on our own, what we call pre-plan. We pre-plan our area and try to know the best ways to get in and out and what's there just by us visually inspecting, not really from the computer.
Okay, we have time for about 1 or 2 more questions. Does anybody else have a question they'd like to ask?
I have a question. I'm just curious as to the trucks. How often are they replaced, and what determines when they need to be replaced?
Some of the trucks, like the fire engines, about 10 years is probably max that they want to use one in frontline equipment, because the wear and tear, they're stopping and going, and every call that we're making, we're going fast and having to stop fast and all that. So it's a wear and tear on the equipment. And I think about every 10 years they try to replace it with a new one, and the old one goes as a backup because one breaks down, and there's 37 fire engines in the city. And if one breaks down, you can't just wait for the part to come in for 2 weeks. They have to have another one backed up. So they have a fleet of backups as well as new. And I want to say about 10 years is an average. It's a lot of maintenance for these equipment with pumps and the driving and hard driving and all that. So it's not uncommon for one to be in a reserve for 2 weeks and then back into theirs while it's being repaired.
Okay, so that brings me to another question. So you talked about the engines being repaired. Who does that? Is that handled by fleet management or is that handled in-house?
Well, no, we basically are hands off when it comes to maintenance at the firehouse. I mean, we may change the light bulb, but they really don't want us to do repairs. We go to Cumberland. It's a private company that does most of our fleet work. And we have Metro Fleet who they kind of got out of the fire business. So I'm not sure how much goes to them, our actual fleet for Metro, but we get our radios put in by the same as PD. We'll go to, y'all shot and we'll see like 5 police cars and 1 fire engine to get our radio repaired.
Okay.
So we go to Metro Southeast for that stuff. And our big repairs go to Cumberland off Thompson Lane, I believe. It's the international truck company that they work on 18-wheelers and they got all kinds of fire engines and fire trucks out there.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to wrap up our Q&A session. Captain Neese, thank you so much. If you have additional questions, you can put it in the chat for the rest of the few more minutes of our MetroConnect program. And you can always email Captain Neese, he's in Outlook, or you can email socket@nashville.gov or Jennifer, and we can get that question to him as well. So I'm going to turn it back over to Jennifer.
Great. Hi, everybody. So we're going to do a fun quiz. So I hope you were paying attention while we watched the video and everything. We're going to kind of test your knowledge now. So I put in the chat some instructions. So if you can open a browser, either on your phone or computer or whatever device you're using, and go type in menti.com. And once you get there, I will show you. You're going to enter this code and a nickname, and we're going to have a little quiz, and there's going to be a winner. So get excited. We'll kind of wrap up with this quiz and a final thank you, and then we'll get you on your way. So let me share my screen with you and get us going. Here we go. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. So go to menti.com and use that code 420264. You'll enter like a nickname, you'll get a little kind of character that represents you, and we'll get started. The music is kind of loud, so feel free to put down your volume. If anybody else wants to join, go ahead and do so. I'm giving you about 10 more seconds to join. Okay, final call. We're gonna get started on our quiz. Here we go. Okay, you're gonna get points for fast answers and correct answers. Great shifts. Great job. So it's the vehicle exhaust system. This is the first in Nashville. That was a little confusing. This fire station is the first to be LEED Gold certified under our Navy standards. So that was kind of a trick question. Good job, guys, though. Okay, here we go. Question 3 out of 5. The largest of any metro fire
Great. Congratulations, Cook. Awesome. Great job. Cook, if you want to stay on the call, we will get your contact information so we can mail you a custom socket water bottle. Congratulations, everybody. Great job on the quiz. Laurel, I'll pass it to you to wrap.
All right, great. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining our second Metro Connect, and we have plenty of more still to come. We've got 6 more scheduled. You can simply visit our website at saca.nashville.gov/connect. And a huge thank you to Captain Neese for doing the tour for us, as well as joining us here today and answering our questions and answers. And we hope that you learned a lot of new information about the fire department. So each of you as a Metro employee have a part in every single department, including the fire department. So thanks for all that. Now, we do encourage you to please take a survey. We really want to hear from you on how we're doing with MetroConnect, and if you liked it, and some ways we can improve it, and some tours that you want to see in the future. So if you look at the chat right now, you can take the survey right this second. It only takes about 2 minutes, if that, to complete it. So if you have a moment, please go ahead and select that. If you have to jet, then we'll email that to you as well. But please, we do encourage you to please take that. So a huge thank you again, our host, Jennifer Westerholm, our technical assistant, Michelle Hammond, and our tour guide and lead, Captain Neese. So thank you all very much. Have a wonderful afternoon.